and then just settle into your chair. Allow your eyes to close or lower your gaze as you come into the space today. If it works for you, if you feel like you have a good handle on what it means to do belly breathing, then you can just keep your hands wherever you feel comfortable. If you need a little bit of, sensation to help you, I like to do the hand on the chest and the hand over the belly button. And then if you do that, just take a couple moments to just notice how you're breathing today. So the key with this belly breathing that we're gonna strive for is that your belly kind of expands outward into your hand as you inhale, just like you're blowing up a balloon. And then as you exhale, your belly draws in. So when you first kind of place your hands over your chest and your belly, just kind of notice quietly which hand you feel moving more. So if it seems like that hand that's on your chest is rising and falling, then you're probably breathing a little bit more into the upper part of your chest and not using your diaphragm as much for breathing. So if and when you can, I want you to just try to gently start to breathe a little bit more and let your belly expand out as you inhale. And as you exhale, slowly draw your belly button in towards your spine. So that's going to be your focus for our centering today. Think about inhaling into your belly hand for 2 to 4 counts. And then exhaling, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. 2 to 4 counts. And so in order to keep your focus on this breath, maybe just count to yourself. So think about saying something like, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, or even just inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So continuing in that way, as you breathe into the belly, think about letting go of tension in the face and the jaw. So just kind of let your teeth separate, let your lips separate. Let that space between your eyebrows relax and soften. Just kind of allow your body to relax and really focus in on that belly breathing. Take about 3 more breath cycles into the low belly. And then as you continue to breathe like that into your belly, I want you to think about something that you're grateful for. It can be a person, it could be your home, it could be another thing, it could be some aspect of your life, and just kind of bring that into the center of your chest or your heart center. Breathing into it, just kind of recalling whatever that is that you're grateful for today. And then we're going to take 2 cleansing breaths. Inhaling deeply through the nose. And then open your mouth, big, heavy sigh. Good, doing that again. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And go ahead and start to shift your weight from side to side. So one sit bone to the next, just kind of noticing your weight from side to side. And then eventually kind of sitting up a little bit straighter in your chair. Maybe scooting your hips as far back as you can to let your back rest support you, or just bring your shoulders over your hips and maybe don't use the backrest. You do what feels good for you. Take a nice deep breath in, sweep those arms all the way up towards the sky, and then big exhale, let them float down. Good, do that again. Inhale, reach up, lengthening the spine, reaching through the fingertips. Good, big exhale, let the arms float down. Good, again, inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. This time I want you to hold your arms up, reach your fingertips for the ceiling, but relax the tops of your shoulders. So if you find yourself kind of hugging your ears with your shoulders, I want you to see if you can let them relax, but reach your fingertips up, okay? Couple of nice deep breaths here, good. Big exhale, let your arms float down. Go ahead and slide your hands underneath your thighs so you keep your shoulders down. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let it slowly drop down, chin to chest, and then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And I want you to just do this at your own pace. So slowly roll it down, chin to your chest, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to your chest, left ear, left shoulder. Chin to your chest, last time, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to your chest, left ear, left shoulder. Remember, as we move from one pose to the next today, do what works for you. So if there's some type of pain or discomfort that you feel, please feel free to modify that. Breathe in, sit up nice and tall, bring your head back to center. Slide your hands out from under your legs and scoot forward in the chair. We're gonna start rolling our shoulders. We're gonna lift them up and we're gonna roll them forward. So inhale them up, exhale them down. Inhale them up, exhale them down, and just kind of let your arms follow along. So I want the movement to come from kind of that upper part of your shoulder, lower part of your neck, where we tend to hold a lot of tension. So inhale and then exhale. Good. When you're ready, move in the backwards direction. Float them up, send them down and back. Relax your face. Float them up, send them down and back. Float them up, send them down and back. Good, one more time. Float them up, send them down and back. Good, keep them down and back. Pull that head straight back right over the rest of the spine. And we're just gonna take some low arm circles in a backwards direction. So just kind of warming up the shoulders a little bit. We're gonna do a little bit of opening across the chest and the shoulder girdles. So we're just gonna get some blood flow there. Go ahead, and if you can, try pointing your fingertips down. So point your fingertips down so you're kind of bending at the wrist. Good. Now I want you to go in the other direction. So you're gonna go forward, still pointing your fingertips down, keeping those arm circles low, especially if you have shoulder issues, okay? So it doesn't need to be a big movement. Good. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Now we're gonna take it to the wrists. So I want you to go ahead and move your wrists one direction, circling it out, and then the other direction. Good. Switch directions, getting some blood flow there, and then switch directions again. Good. Come into seated mountain pose. So palms are forward, feet are hips distance apart. I want you to alternate floating your heels up and your toes up. So palms are open towards the front, chest is open, you're sitting tall, and you're rocking heels to toes. So heels up, toes up, heels up, toes up. Just doing whatever motion you have. So if you don't have a lot of motion at the ankle, I want you to just imagine like you're lifting up and down, okay? Heels up, toes up, good. And then settle them down, so you're kind of have all four corners of each foot on the floor. Deep breath in, raise your arms all the way up. Exhale, press the hands to heart center. Again, inhale, sweeping up, gathering energy. Exhale, bringing it into your body. Good. One more time, deep breath in, raise those arms all the way up. Big exhale, release your arms down. Good. You're going to take your right arm and you're going to send palm up, send it straight out towards me. So your palm is facing the ceiling, okay? Then you're going to take your other hand and you're just going to set it on top of your fingers. So you're going to try to think about pulling those fingertips back towards your forearm with your elbows straight, okay? So this is going to give you a stretch right through here. So elbows straight, you're pointing your wrist up towards the ceiling, you're stretching it here and kind of breathing. So if this doesn't feel good to you, maybe you need to lower it down, maybe you don't pull your fingers back as far. Good. As you exhale, release, turn your palm down. Little gentle overpressure here. So it doesn't have to be a lot, but try pulling those fingertips towards your forearm again. So now stretching the top of the forearm. Again, elbows straight. And just go as far as you feel comfortable. Good, keep breathing. Use your exhale to slowly release. Circle out your wrists, both of them at the same time. Good, switch directions. Good, nice deep breath in. Sit as tall as you can, sweep your arms up. One or both arms up towards the ceiling. Good, exhale, hands to heart. Sit tall, nice long spine. Do it again, inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, send your left arm straight out. So palm up towards the ceiling, elbows straight. You're going to take your other hand, set it on those fingertips and draw them back towards your forearm. So you can do this with your arm up like this. You can set it down towards your leg. You're keeping your elbows straight and you're stretching through that inside part of your forearm. Again, avoiding pain. So if you can't pull it back that far, don't worry about it. Good. Slowly release. Bend and straighten a few times. And then turn your palm to face down. Take that other hand again, gentle overpressure. Fingertips towards the forearm. So if you have pretty good motion in your wrists, you might even just kind of set your hand down on your lap and hold it there, or you can keep it up. But elbows straight, you're going to feel a little bit more of a stretch through that forearm. Good. Keep breathing. And then slowly come out of it. Go ahead, once again, circle out those wrists. And at the same time, if you can, two things at once. I want you to try doing some ankle rolls. So roll in the ankles. And then the opposite direction. It's like head taps and tummy rubs together, right? 2 for 1. Good, sitting up nice and tall. Good. And then come back to that seated mountain pose. Both feet on the floor, lengthen your spine. Pull your head straight back. So we all tend to kind of do this, right? Rounded shoulders, kind of forward head, that's gravity, right? So think about pulling your head straight back, almost like you're creating a little bit of a double chin, lengthening the back of your neck, sitting up tall. On an inhale, tip your pelvis forward, open your chest, and look up, seated cow. As you exhale, tuck and round, pull your belly in, seated cat. So you've done this before, starting to warm up the spine. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. So we're gonna move at your own pace. Inhale from the side, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good, let's do about 5 more cycles. So inhale, open the chest, look up, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. One more time. Inhale, sit nice and tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good. I want you to sit up a little bit straighter, but keep your arms straight ahead. So press your palms forward, drop your chin to your chest, and think about separating the shoulder blades. So kind of feeling a little bit of a stretch through that middle part of your back. Good. So chin drops down to your chest. You might feel it a little bit through your neck. Good. And then slowly release. Go ahead and kind of shake out those arms a little bit. So one goes on top and the other one goes on top. Just kind of crossing, opening the chest and shoulders. We're going to do a couple more upper body stretches before we move to our lower body. So if it works for you, just relax your arms down at your sides. I want you to bring your left arm straight up by your ear. Okay, and you're going to take your right hand, you're going to kind of hug it in there. Okay, and then if it works for you, I want you to just let your elbow bend and kind of reach that hand down your back, and you're going to hug that elbow in towards your head. Okay, so do it again. Reach your left arm all the way up so it's next to your ear. Grab it with your other hand, so kind of pull it towards your head. Let your arm bend. And then you're going to kind of pull it in and back, let that arm back come back behind you. So you're kind of pressing your armpit forward and you're stretching out the back of the arm. Good. It's going to look different for everybody because we all have different levels of flexibility, right? Good. Slowly release. Shake out those arms, one on top and the other on top. We're going to do the same thing for the second side. So if you have, a painful shoulder, or if this pose is not available for you, that's okay. Take a nice deep breath in. You're going to bring that left arm or your right arm straight up by your ear, hug it in, and then let your arm bend. So your elbow's bending, you're pulling that elbow in towards your head, getting a stretch through the back of the arm. Keep breathing. Good. Nice deep breath in. One more time. Big exhale. Release your arms down. Good. Nice deep breath in again. This time I want you to send both arms straight out in front. Cross your left arm over your right at the elbow. We're going to do a seated eagle variation. And then try bending your elbows to bring the tops or the backs of your hands together. Okay? So our tendency when we do this is to kind of let our elbows drop down. So if you can, you're going to try to keep your elbows at shoulder height and then tuck your chin down. So once again, kind of feeling that stretch through the middle part of your back. The other option, if you don't have a lot of shoulder flexibility or if you're having pain with this, you can also try crossing and then just kind of like giving yourself a bear hug. So you're reaching your hands around by your shoulder blades and tucking your chin to your chest. Good. Try to think about inhaling those elbows at shoulder height and then exhale to stretch between the shoulder blades. Continuing to breathe as you sit tall in your chair. Good. This time, one more breath in. As you exhale, release your arms down. Breathe in to sit tall. Float your arms up to shoulder height. You're going to take left. You're going to do the opposite. So I think it's right over left this time. Whatever you didn't do before, that's what you're going to do now. So make an X at your elbows. Arms are at shoulder height. You're going to bend. You can grab for your hands, or you can bring the backs of your hands together. Those elbows are probably going to scooch down like this. I want you to try to see if you can bring them up and tuck your chin to your chest or do the bear hug. Okay? Holding and breathing. So really being mindful of your breath, inhaling and exhaling into the belly, into that place where you feel tightness or restrictions today. And then as you exhale, slowly come out of it. Kind of swing the arms gently, crossing one on top and then the other on top. And then when you feel ready, I want you to step your feet out nice and wide. So you're going to step your feet out wide, turn your toes out to the side slightly. Take a nice deep breath in, raise one or both arms all the way out to that big wide T shape. Spread those fingers nice and wide. As you exhale, hands are going to come to your thighs or reach for the floor. Let your low back release. When you're ready, walk your hands up your legs or slowly bring your trunk up. Nice big T shape. Shoulder blades pulled together. This time, if you can, lift your chin up. Opening across the chest and shoulders. Exhale, forearms to the thighs or reach for the floor. Couple of nice deep breaths into that low back. Inhale, come all the way up, taking your time. Shoulder blades pulled together, chin lifts. Exhale, last time, forearms to the thighs, let your back round or reach for the floor. Pause and breathe. Nice deep breath in, walk your hands up your thighs or slowly come up. Last time, nice big T shape. This time, as you exhale, you're going to bring your left arm down onto your thigh. You're going to reach your right arm up and over your head. Slow circles through the wrists, one direction and the other direction. So try not to collapse your body over on your thigh. Try to just kind of lift it up and over. If you have a hurty shoulder, you're still going to just lean with your torso. So you're getting a side stretch. Good. Kind of think about reaching through those fingertips. Good. You're going to do a big inhale with an arm sweep. So inhale, bring your trunk all the way back up. Sit up as tall as you can. Exhale, set it down. Inhale your left arm up. And then exhale, tip it over. Same thing, nice, easy wrist circles. And the opposite direction. Keep breathing. Good, nice deep breath in, raise that arm all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to the inside of your thighs or your knees and press the knees out to the side for an inner thigh stretch. So you're gently separating your knees. You should feel a stretch right through your inner thighs. You're not moving into pain, okay? And you don't have to be super flexible. We're not preparing for the splits or anything today, okay? I know, we're lucky. So you're just kind of stretching out the inner thighs there a little bit, opening into the hips. And then if it works for you, try lifting your toes up while you're here. And then set your toes down, try lifting your heels. Set your heels down, lift your toes up. Relax your face and jaw. Set your toes down, lift your heels up. Good. As you exhale, slowly release everything. Step your legs back in. If it's available to you, I want you to draw your right knee in towards your chest. And we're going to do some big hip circles. So the goal is a big hip circle, but if your hip doesn't move in a big hip circle motion, then it might be a smaller hip circle, right? So one direction, and then the other direction. And then from here, I want you to pull that knee in towards your chest and kind of draw it across your body at a diagonal. This is where it's good to use like a strap or a belt if you have it. So just you can use that as well, kind of pulling your knee across towards the opposite shoulder. So moving it at a diagonal, kind of stretching out through the outer hip and the buttock area. And then as you exhale, take that leg that's up and set it on the other thigh, coming into that figure 4 stretch. So you're going to relax the hip and knee here. Sit up nice and tall, and then as you exhale, maybe come forward a little bit if that feels good for you. And if it doesn't, then don't worry about it. Good. Slowly come back up. Exhale, maybe bending a little bit more, feeling that length through the hip. Exhale, come back up. Good. One more time, coming forward. And just kind of pausing here, maybe pointing and flexing the ankle might feel good, or kind of rotating it. And then sitting up nice and tall, that leg that's on top, send it out long. So you're gonna set it out right in front of you, straight knee position. Take a nice deep breath in, lift your chest up. And then as you exhale, I want you to reach down for your ankle on that straight leg, okay? So just turning to the side so you can see me. So chest is up, your leg is straight here. You're reaching down for your shin or your ankle, feeling a little stretch through the back of the thigh. As you hold that, think about gently pulling your toes back towards you, okay? And then just like you did on some of our other stretches, you can rotate that leg or move your ankle a few times. So you're kind of doing what feels good for you. Slowly coming back up. Go ahead and step that leg in. Take a nice deep breath in. Bring those arms out to a low T. And as you exhale, I want you to turn your chest to the left or to the right wall. So nice big twist from the low belly. Chest is facing that right wall. You're breathing. Good. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, sit tall. This time, twist the other way. So chest to the left wall. Looking where you're turning. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, come back to center. Good. Let your arms come underneath your left thigh this time, or use a strap or a band. And you're just going to make some small or some big hip circles, kind of helping with your arms. Getting some blood flow to that hip joint. Good. When you feel ready, you're going to pull that knee in and kind of bring it across towards your opposite shoulder. So you're pulling it at a diagonal. So that'll give you a stretch through your buttock area. And so whenever you're moving into these different poses or stretches, I want you to really just think about going as far as you feel comfortable, but not pushing into a point of pain. So a stretching sensation is good. If you're having pain somewhere, then I want you to back off. That leg that you have in right now, go ahead and exhale it to the opposite thigh, letting your knee and hip relax. And then just like you did on the first side, you can start to kind of bend forward over your legs and then come back up. Just kind of moving slowly into that outer hip and glute stretch. Really think about relaxing across the hip joint. Trying to let your knee kind of fall out to the side. Maybe like you did on the first side, point and flex the foot or move the ankle a little bit, and we're just gonna pause and breathe, kind of finding that comfortable edge of lengthening into the hip. Good. Take a nice deep breath in, sit up tall. As you exhale, send that leg straight out in front. So straightening the knees, sitting right towards the edge of your chair. Go ahead and point and flex your foot a few times or rotate that leg. So you're starting to feel some length maybe into the back of the lower leg, but mostly into the back of the thigh. Okay? So sitting tall to breathe in. As you exhale, reach for your ankle. And reaching for your ankle might just be reaching for your shin, or maybe it's reaching for your knee. So you're just kind of coming into that stretch and then coming out of it. Doing that a few times and then maybe holding and breathing. Couple of nice long deep breaths here. Relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw. Good. Slowly coming all the way back up, taking your time, maybe rotating out that ankle one more time and then stepping your feet in. Come into seated mountain pose and do some toe heel rocking again. So heels up, toes up, palms are forward. Just kind of pedaling out the feet a little bit here. And then if you would like today, go ahead and come up to standing. If you prefer to stay seated, that's fine. If you have a second chair, a wall, or a counter that you can use, we're gonna do some things where we anchor with our hands like we've done in the past. So if you can buddy up to another chair or a counter, that's gonna work well. Otherwise, take this opportunity to come to standing, grab a quick drink. And then once you're in standing, just kind of pedal out your feet a little bit. So you're lifting a heel up at a time. You don't have to march, but just one heel up at a time. You can hold on to your chair for balance. Think about coming into that long spine posture. So wherever you are, come into standing or seated mountain pose. Palms are forward. Chest is open. So you're pulling those shoulder blades in and down your back. And then pull the belly in towards your spine. Good. If it works for you, as you inhale, you're going to raise one or both of your arms up and then try lifting your heels. And we're going to stay here, pausing and breathing. So belly is in, chest is up. You can do the same thing if you're sitting. Good. As you exhale, let your heels come down. Pause and let your arm come down. Good. Doing it again. Inhale, raise your arms up, one or both arms, and then raise your heels. Hold the chair if you need to for balance. Pause and breathe, reaching through the fingertips. Good. As you exhale, heels come down, arms come down. Good. Go ahead and face your chair back. So face your chair back with both hands if it's there, or if you have a countertop or another chair, you can do that. I want you to step your feet about a foot or so away from your chair. And then as you inhale, I want you to let your hips come forward and let your chest come up. So you're kind of letting your back straighten. Okay? Kind of pressing into your hands. And then as you exhale, I want you to let your hips drop back. So you're kind of sending your hips away from your chair. Good. So as you inhale, you're going to bring your hips towards your chair, lifting your chest up, lifting your chin, lengthening your tummy. As you exhale, you're going to drop back, send your hips back. Bend your knees a little bit, stretch out through the low back. Okay, and if you're staying in sitting, you can do this with your hands on a countertop, or you can also do moving into that seated cow and then into a forward bend. So inhale, lift your chin up, kind of shift your weight forward, really lengthening your stomach, lifting your chest and your chin. Exhale, drop your hips back, bend your knees, let your back round. Good, one more time, inhale, hips towards the chair back, lengthen your tummy, lift your chin. Straighten your back, good. Exhale, send your hips back, press away from the chair, bend your knees as much as you need to. Good. From this position, with your knees bent, I want you to step your feet over so they're towards the right side of your chair. And then I want you to bring your hands over to the left side of your chair back, okay? So we're kind of at a diagonal here, right? So I step my feet over and then I have my hands opposite my legs. Take a nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, I want you to sink your hips away from your hands. So this is going to give you a little bit more of a stretch through your low back. So if you're doing this in sitting, so those of you that are standing, keep holding. If you're doing this in sitting, you can use another chair or a counter, and you're going to sink your hips away from your hands, just like you would if you were standing. So this is going to give you a stretch more through kind of the side of your back. Okay, so diagonal stretch, hips sink away from your hands, not moving into pain. Once you go into that stretch, take a couple of nice deep breaths in and out. And then slowly come out of it. Step your feet over to the opposite side and move your hands opposite your feet. Okay, so hands are opposite your feet. So if your feet are to the left, your hands are going to be to the right. Breathe in, and then as you exhale, you're going to drop your hips back away from your hands at a diagonal. So you're moving in a diagonal motion back. Once you get into that stretch, try to let your neck relax. So usually when we do this, we're kind of holding a lot of tension in our necks. So see if you can just let your neck relax as you feel that stretch through the low back. Good. Pause and breathe. Slowly come out of it. Go ahead and walk your feet in towards the chair. Pedal out those feet again. And then whether you're sitting or standing, I want you to take your feet out nice and wide. So take them out wider than shoulder width apart if you can. Chair can still be in front of you. I want you to come up nice and wide to starfish pose. So your hands are going to come out to a nice big V shape. And then we're going to work a little bit of rotation here. Okay? So from this position, you're going to take your left hand, bring it to the chair back, kind of opposite, so making it like an X motion. And then you're going to reach your right arm back and look at it. If you're sitting, same exact thing. You're going hand to the opposite knee and look back behind you. Okay, so spine twisting, but staying up nice and tall. Good, nice deep breath in. Come all the way back up to that starfish pose. Take up a lot of space, maybe even opening, closing the hands or circling out the wrists a little bit. This time as you exhale, your right arm goes to the chair. Your left arm reaches back, turn and look at it. Looking at your hand. Nice, easy spine twist. Kind of opening your chest to the side wall. Good. One more time on each side. So deep breath in, starfish pose, come all the way up. Do what feels good for you here. Circle out the wrists, open and close the hands. Exhale, left arm to the the chair, right arm reaches back. Try to look at the back of your space. Look at the back of your space. Good. Beautiful spine twisting, yogis. Deep breath in, starfish pose. Come all the way up. Exhale, right arm to the chair, left arm reaches back, following it with your eyes. So letting your whole spine twist, however much it feels good for your body today. Good. Coming back to center, nice deep breath in. Last time, starfish pose, big exhale, release your hands down. Go ahead and, if you're in sitting, I want you to put your hands straight out on the chair or the counter. If you're standing, we're going to do one last standing pose. So hands are going to come to the chair back. You're going to walk your feet further back, and you're going to press your hips back and your heart in the direction of the floor. Little bend in the knees. So you should feel a stretch through the back of the thighs, through the shoulders, through the low back. Couple of nice deep breaths in and out. Try to relax the back of your neck. And then when you feel ready, keep breathing. We'll stay for about 3 more breath cycles. So letting go of tension wherever you feel it here. And then take your time, slowly come up. And then slowly bring your feet in or bring your trunk up. Kind of easy marching as you bring your feet back towards your chair. So this is really important, especially as we transition from each of these poses, that we just pedaling out the feet like this kind of helps us if we get lightheaded. So that's going to be a really important thing that I want you to remember. Go ahead and turn around so your butt is to your chair back. If you're sitting, you're going to let your arms come straight to your sides. So holding on to the chair back, one last pose. There's always one more, right? So instead of shoulders being forward, pull the shoulder blades together, kind of puff your chest out and lift your chin up. So opening one more time across the chest and shoulders. Breathing into that front body. Relaxing your face, relaxing your jaw. And then big exhale, release down. Those of you that are standing, go ahead and take a seat in the chair. If you're seated, come into a neutral spine position in your chair. One more nice spine lengthening. So sit up as straight as you can, top of the head lifts up. Nice deep breath in, raise those arms all the way up. Big exhale, let them float down. Grab a drink if you haven't yet. And then I want you to take about a minute or so. I think we did this another time too, but I want you to see if there's any other poses or movements or anything that you want to do before we do our final relaxation, okay? So think about how your body feels. You know, maybe you need an extra chest stretch. Maybe you need an extra back stretch or hip stretch. So see what feels good for you. If you're good, then you can just relax in your chair. If you don't have any other things that you want to do, that's fine. But if you do, go ahead and take some time now to do that. And then whenever you're ready, when you finish your poses, go ahead and settle into your chair. So you can kind of relax back into your chair. Let your legs kind of outstretch. Coming into a place of relaxation. Hands can go to the belly. You can let your armrest support your arms. Take a couple of cleansing breaths. So we're going to inhale deeply through the nose. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. Good, one more time. Inhaling through the nose. Big, heavy sigh through the mouth. Allow your eyes to close or lower your gaze. Return your focus to your breath, just briefly. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Notice how you feel. Recall whatever that was that you had gratitude for at the beginning of the practice today. Bring that back into your heart. And then also I invite you to take a moment to express gratitude silently to yourself, just for taking this time to move your body. And then put a pause on the mind chatter, any thoughts that you're having, and just allow everything to be still and peaceful for a few moments.